team seemed like really fast there in that fourth quarter. But how tough was Oklahoma tonight in denying you?
Yeah, I think that was definitely an emphasis for them. And I think we, had a feeling that it was going to be coming into the game. So, yeah, I think they did, a good job of that. And the first half, yeah.
Gabby, you started pretty fast there yourself. Hit your first threes. Is that just a sign of how pumped up you get to play Oklahoma?
I guess you could say that. Yeah, I just was open and I was feeling good, and shots went in.
Serena, Oklahoma likes to shoot a lot, play fast, and yet you hold them to 22 points under their season average in points. What does that say about the way the defense played tonight?
Yeah, I think we played well. I think our preparation really set us up to be successful. They are, if not the best transition offense team in our conference, so we knew that going in, and we were really focused on that, and it showed. So I think that's a big reason why we were successful.
Gabby, I wanted to ask you, obviously Serena's played with Ayoka before, but this season for you, has it been an adjustment? Last year you were kind of looked at to score. It looks like you really rounded out your game this year. Is that kind of been an emphasis for you to sort of fill in gaps in other ways?
Yeah, for sure. Even in my career, I've never played with like a true post player like Ayoka. So obviously it was an adjustment. Just, working with her like in tandem, passing it into her and stuff like that. But, I think that I've been able to develop a lot from the beginning of the season to now, just like how I can work with her and play together with her to get her the ball in situations when she needs it. But I think it's still even a work in progress now, just because I've never played with a player like her before.
Do you feel that it's made you a better all-around player?
Yeah, for sure. I think, even just my assists, most assists I've ever had in my career. So coming into this year. So obviously it was something I had to like adjust to, but makes my job pretty easy. Just throw it in there.
Mm-hmm. Having more fun even though you're not maybe scoring as many points.
Oh yeah, it's nice. I had 9 assists in a game. I've never done that my whole life, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, no, it's still fun.
And I think 4 blocks.
Yeah,
today.
I had 4 blocks today. I get made fun of a lot for the length of my arms, so I think everyone needs to stop commenting on my arm length because I had 4 blocks today.
And Serena, could you maybe talk a little bit about just how Gabby's adjusted her game and how maybe what she's meant just all around?
Yeah, I think, like she just mentioned, her passing has really improved this year. And last year we needed her to be a scorer, and we needed her to find her shots and maybe take some contested shots, which she's good at. But this year I think she's finding her shot, and she's shooting it confidently, and she knows when Yoki's going to be wide open. So she's playing smart and playing confident, and even when she's not hitting him, she's still consistent, and her mental side of the game is strong, and we all trust in her. So it's been fun to play with her this year.
Ayoka, what is making you guys so good on defense this year?
What is making us so good on defense? That's a really good question. Yeah, Gapco, definitely number one. I think Coach Mitty definitely has been honest about communication. So I think when our communication is really good, we're playing good defense. I think our ability to get steals, I think our guards do a really good job of being in the right spot and then being able to jump screens depending on our ball screen coverage. I think inside we have good defense. I don't think it's easy for a lot of teams to score inside against us. Gabby had 4 blocks today. That's not easy to score against that. So I think it's a lot of those things, and then just being active and guarding what we need to guard, guarding the 3 especially. Yeah.
Serena, how much pride do you guys take in defense?
A lot. It's been a staple of our success this year. and it's something that can always be consistent when we're not playing well offensively, which I think we felt that a little bit tonight where we weren't hitting shots. And as frustrated as we get down there, we know that we can control the defensive side of the floor. At halftime, we knew we gave up too many three-pointers. That's something we've been really prideful in this year, is holding teams to low three-point percentages. So that was a focus coming out of halftime, and we did a great job there. So I think our focus, when we're all playing on the same page and communicating, like Yoki said, reading things early, we're playing really well, but that starts in practice. And Coach Mitty he's picky in practice, and we get annoyed. We're like, oh my goodness, like you are so picky. We're doing it good enough. He's like, it's not good enough. So I think our standard is really high too.
Thank you.
Ayoka, it looked like it was a pretty physical down there in the paint. And, in those first three quarters when you're maybe not getting as many opportunities, whether it's the entry pass is not getting to you or they're collapsing on you, do you get frustrated? What's kind of your mindset when you're in those situations?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not just in a great mood, obviously, but I think it just goes back to as long as our offense is so productive, as long as Gabby's still hitting her shots, as long as Serena's still getting drives to the basket. Jalen had a lot of really good drives tonight too early in the game, so I'll take it if my teammates are open. I think that it just comes down to other teams have to pick what they want to live and die by. So yeah, it's frustrating, but I think you just have to be patient, and they can't do it for 40 minutes if everyone's doing their job. So yeah.
And Gabby and Serena, you two especially stepped up and hit shots there in that first quarter. Talk about what it's like for you when maybe teams are really focusing on Yoki and it kind of opens you up. Just what's that like on offense, and how do you handle that when?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of people that are really good around Yoki. So if they decide that they're gonna take somebody off someone to double team her, then we just have to trust in that person to get them the ball and play out of it, because they're gonna have to scramble out of situations like that. So I think we did well in regard to playing around them, just hugging up on Yoki so much, and I think maybe that's how we allowed her to get more open there in the second half, because they couldn't collapse down so far on her because we were getting so many open looks from other people. But yeah, I think, and we have to just be confident in our shot. I mean, we weren't hitting early wide open, but if they're gonna give us that wide open shot, then we just have to be confident in it.
Did coming out of the halftime, it kind of felt a little sluggish for both teams. I was wondering if one or all of you, whoever wants to, could just kind of talk about that third quarter and what it was like going to the fourth.
Yeah, you got it.
I don't remember that too well.
We didn't score for
Oh yeah, we didn't score.
Yeah.
I remember, 5-minute mark, timeout. We came in the huddle, and Coach Mitty reminded us that we had not scored yet this quarter. And he was emphasizing ball movement, and he was asking us the definition of ball movement is not, he made it clear that that's not shooting the ball just because it's in the air. We have to pass it to each other. So we came out of that 5-minute mark and was like, okay, let's focus on offense, play together, get back to our basics, back to our fundamentals, back to our preparation. And then we started seeing success there. And Yoki's a consistent player. I mean, however frustrated she is, she's not going to show it to us, and she's going to be in her spot. So we found her fourth quarter. Yeah, and we just got to trust in our preparation.
Thank you, guys.